With the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he dug a trench around it large enough to hold 2 seahs of seed. He arranged the wood, excuse me, cut the bull into pieces and laid it on the wood. Then he said to them, "Fill 4 large jars with water and pour it on the offering and on the wood." "Do it again," he said, and they did it again. "Do it a third time," he ordered, and they did it the third time. The water ran down around the altar and even filled the trench. At the time of sacrifice, the prophet Elijah stepped forward and prayed, "Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and have done all these things at your command. Answer me, Lord. Answer me so these people will know that you, Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again." Then the fire of the Lord fell and burned up the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, and the soil, and also licked up the water in the trench. When all the people saw this, they fell prostrate and cried, "The Lord, He is God! The Lord, He is God!" Then Elijah commanded them, "Seize the prophets of Baal. Don't let anyone get away." They seized them, and Elijah had them brought down to the Kishon Valley and slaughtered there. And Elijah said to Ahab, "Go and eat and drink, for there is the sound of a heavy rain." So Ahab went off to eat and drink, but Elijah climbed to the top of Carmel and bent down to the ground and put his face between his knees. "Go and look toward the sea," he told his servant, and he went up and looked. "There is nothing there," he said. 7 times Elijah said, "Go back." The 7th time the servant reported, "A cloud as small as a man's hand is rising from the sea, rising from the sea." So Elijah said, "Go and tell Ahab, hitch up your chariots and go down before the rain stops." Meanwhile, the sky grew black and with clouds the wind rose, and heavy rain started falling, and Ahab rode off to Jezreel. The power of the Lord came on Elijah, and tucking his cloak into his belt, he ran ahead of Ahab all the way to Jezreel. So God made Elijah able to outrun Ahab, who was on his horse. God made Elijah able to outrun a horse. A horse. Yeah. God made Elijah powerful enough to outrun a horse. He made him fast enough to outrun a horse. That's awesome. Now, the reason why I read that part of the Bible is because I have seen a lot of people lately who keep trying to take fictional characters and or false gods, if you will, these mythological deities that people have come up with, and they keep trying to say that these things are more powerful or whatever when they're not even real. Just like Elijah had to deal with the prophets of Baal, who sat there and kept trying to get the thing to do something, and it didn't do anything because it doesn't exist. It's just a statue. It doesn't have breath in its lungs. It doesn't have a heartbeat. It's not a living being. The only being that is living, as far as being a deity, is God. Okay, God is the only God that exists, and Elijah did that whole thing with that, and he was trying to help all the people of Israel to come back to God because of Jezebel and the other guy. I can't remember his name now. Oh man, Ahab. I think that's his name. Ahab and Jezebel both had tricked people into believing in a false god and was turning people away. People, I'm telling you this right now. Goku and Kratos and Superman and Sun Wukong and Zeus and whatever other things that people keep trying to put them in the categories of gods or godlike being. They're not real, y'all. They do not exist. They are not a living being. They're not alive. God is the only real living God. Okay? Kratos is not real. Superman is not real. Goku is not real. Sun Wukong is not real. Zeus is not real. Okay? They're just fake, fictional, mythological, made up things that people came up with. They are not actual living beings. Okay? Jesus really did walk this earth.